everybody can understand what it's like to be you. That's the whole thing, you know. Trying to get someone to understand what it's like to be you. In this moment, I am touching the internal terrain and the essence of me at 13 again. And I'm recalling how strong I felt. Like really, really strong. I looked like this. I look like this. Like at 13 years old, I was 5'11" and 180 pounds. You know, so like, and I didn't take any crap from anybody. And I, you know, just wouldn't bow down. So I wondered if it would ever happen. So I guess my fear was like, will anybody ever love me like my dad loves me? Like, will anybody ever pick a big, loud, strong thing like me? You know? Like, would that be okay for anybody? And I often wonder, like, if that way that I don't always accept or like myself fully comes from betraying myself, because I didn't want them to be mad at me. I wanted to be pretty too. Like, I put the makeup on, I did my hair, like I did those things, but like that was never what felt beautiful. Like, I feel the most beautiful when I'm like, you know, telling the truth. So I'm gonna have to tell the truth. The truth is, I don't know if I really feel like a boy or a girl sometimes. But I like how strong I feel when I'm being like a boy. Like, I like that I can ride my bike faster. I love playing ice hockey. You know what I mean? I love like hip checking and getting in there, you know? I love feeling my strength, but as I think about being a girl and acting like a girl and, you know, playing dress up like my mom and sisters do and putting all this stuff together, like, it's true, like it feels like I get a different response, but it doesn't always feel like it's for what I want to get a response for. Just didn't really feel safe to be a girl sometimes. Just kind of felt like extra vulnerable, extra like easily manipulated. And then like your legs, like, you know, please, like, you can't go out like that, like it's embarrassing. And I'd be like, it's embarrassing? What's embarrassing about it? I don't understand. Like, I mean, if I got like a booger in my nose or something, like I can appreciate that might be embarrassing, but like, there's hair on my legs, there's hair under my arms, you know, like, okay, you know? So I think sometimes I was groomed to think about others. I'll shave my armpits just to not listen to the guff that I receive about my choice to not shave my armpits, you know? So it's like, I sell out for myself to try to like join in to the girls, you know? I feel like it consumed a lot of my thoughts, you know what I mean? Honestly, sometimes I'm tired of it. I'm tired of thinking about everybody else, you know, especially lately. I'm just kind of like, well, wait a minute, you know, I got some stuff going on. Like, I think this boy likes me, and I don't know if I like him or how I would like him, and if it would be safe. Like, would he go away like my dad went away? Is that what happens to everybody? You know what I mean? So I feel like I never really understood what I needed.
We honor you and empower you to be who you are. We honor you and empower you to be who you are. I honor you and empower you to be who you are.
I guess mad. That's who I am right now, right? Mad. That's what everybody calls me at work. Mad. So here she grows. Mad. That's who she is. Just ridiculous. Just can't believe it. Just can't believe, like, the way the world really is. Just can't believe how hard it is to do all the parts. You know, so just can't believe, like, how lonely I can feel when I have a husband and children and everything that I thought was going to make it so I would be okay. I guess it's like, I really believed that like if I got married and had 2 kids and took care of my house and learned to cook, that like I'd be happy. And that's not what's happening, you know, like I cry all the time. And I feel like such a burden because I don't want to be so emotional. I don't want to cry so much, you know. I just didn't know that motherhood could take you like on such a ride. Like everything I thought I was inside is gone. Like all I am is like a ride, or can you get me this, or did you do this, or did you forget this, or mom, you know. And meanwhile it's like woman, Madeline, like more, you know. So curious to see what's in store after this roller coaster of becoming a mom. I just hope I'm strong enough to carry on, because so much I give to this part. Because I guess in my heart, I thought this was the part. I thought there's nothing more important than being a really good mom. Peter Matthew, my first son, born in 11/11 on March 25th, 1983. You know, he left a mark on me. And part of what I promised him and promised me was that when he came back, I would be free. Like I wouldn't be shamed and wrapped in a shroud of guilt and pain, you know. Because he wants a mom filled with shame and guilt and pain. Like, I didn't want to be that mom, and I don't want to bring that mom to anybody, you know. So like, just really embracing that I'm becoming that. As I let go and understand that mad is part of it. You know, like mad is real. She's the real deal. And there wasn't anyone to tell stuff to. Like, I'm just standing in kitchens talking to myself, like talking to trees, like making up stories, like anything to just feel the catharsis of just releasing it, you know? Because who could understand, like, how perfect I had to be as a mother, because I had to prove that I wasn't some crazy lady who gave away her baby, you know? Like, I'm gonna be a really good mom. I mean, gosh, my first son, like, I had him reading by the time he was 2.5, like just like rotating his toys and colors and sounds and gosh. And then by the time Joey came out, I was so depressed and so overwhelmed with everything that was happening. Like, I don't even know if I read enough stories to him, let alone teach him to read, you know? So it's like, at this point, I'm in the kitchen, I'm going off to school, I'm starting college, and I'm saying, all right, well, let's see what else there is, you know what I mean? There's more inside of me, you know, though. I love being a mom, you know, I love those little boys so much. I love Philip's family, you know, like, I adore everybody. I think the part I'm mad at is that somewhere in the transition from like 13 to 26, I lost myself. You know, I lost myself. I lost like what I thought was really me.
We honor you and empower you to be who you are. We honor you and empower you to be who you are.
I mean, I can say at 39, if I'm honest with in this moment, I opened my heart and thought that I was going to have somebody there, and I went for it, you know, and by going for it, because my tendency to love was so intense. Like one friend said to me, it's like, when Matt loves something, it's like, all of a sudden it gets like lights on it, like, and another guy said it was like being in a frying pan with like bright lights on top of you. So like, I've learned that my love, like when I love you, like you feel it, you know, and if you're not willing to love me, I get a little crazy, you know. So Miles was so willing to love me, so he got all that focus, but who he was and what we wanted and what's coming, like, I don't know if we didn't get caught up in the love spell, you know, the hocus pocus, you know, like I got caught in something because my friends are retreating, the circles that I had are leaving. You know, I'm recognizing there's more space between me and it's just me and this other person. And I'm not sure what I did to create that, but I know that I feel compelled to do it. And I definitely stopped trying to be the mom my mom wanted me to be the mom that I thought Philip wanted me to be. I just stopped being what anybody wanted me to be. I just started to be myself. and I invited all the people around me that I worked with. You know, I invited them all to my house. A lot of people lived there on and off, you know what I mean? We had music all the time. I was with the kids every weekend. I enjoyed it so much. Like, every other weekend, John and Joey would go be with Philip, but I was with the little kids, like the 5-year-olds, the 6-year-olds. Like, I missed the daycare. I missed working with the kids. Like, I love kids so much. They're so smart. So I was just playing with kids, going to college, got myself a job in a rehab, learning about adolescence, just with all the ages and stages, you know, just really appreciating my friends, like becoming parents and like learning about themselves through being a parent, and like the transition for a woman into motherhood. And now that I'd kind of really lived it a bunch of times, you know, I was really able to be so compassionate for what the mothers needed, and made sure that they had time, and had a sister support group where all the girls would come and tell each other what was up and be there for each other. You know, just grew into myself, you know. Got married in like a real beautiful way with, like, you know, 13 moons and the 4 directions posted and hand fasting. Like, really took care of some business. You know, really understood what I was doing was making a sacred ritual, you know, to go forward with my life. So like, I feel at this point in my life so blessed to be surrounded by like my beautiful mess. You know, like, it turned out great, and boy did we have fun in this time, like opening up and having parties in the living room and slip and slides in the yard and just like storytelling till you just couldn't stop laughing. So life had a turn, and I had a lot of lessons to learn.
For some giving and receiving, living for a reason, giving and receiving, we are one.
I think it's really now just time to be, you know, so that time from 39 to 53, which I am now, you know, I got to practice that resilience. I got to practice all the things I thought I learned and find out like just how well I learned them, and I got to see myself in like new eyes. And I was met with challenges, you know, twin boys, you know what I mean? A relationship that didn't have a solid foundation, a change in career, adolescent boys, you know, just like friendships changing, families changing, you know, just choices people were making, you know, everything was happening. But for me, I found it when I started to sing and pray. I started to call in the directions probably around 40-something. And I was going back for my master's, and I knew I had to do something to start to like bring me to my stillness. There's so much going on. So the trees had told me to go outside and to talk and to pray and to just talk to spirit. So I started to do it, and then I read this book called Black Elk Speaks, and they talked about using the pipe and calling in the directions, and I was like, oh, of course, that makes perfect sense. So there I was, you know, calling in the directions day after day. And there's certain things that I've learned to say when I call in the directions. And so as I come into this place of completion, I want to share what I've come to understand to be the prayer that allows me to be all that I am. And it is in the East, I say, to that childlike innocence that resides in me and you, I'm here for the good of all. Let everything I do be for the good of all. And then when I turn to the South, that fire, that passion, what can come out my mouth, I say, I'm a steward of the earth. I'm here to work in harmony. You know, I want to understand you and me. Right? I'm here as a steward of the earth. And then I turn to the West, where the flow goes, and the woman, and the mama, and all that stuff, and I'm like, I'm a co-creator with the divine. Like, everything I think happens. You know, so I co-create with the divine. Like, what I do with my emotions, how I speak, who I speak to, when I speak to them, I co-create with the divine. So do you. Everybody does. Right? And then in the fourth, in my elder, you know, that winter north part of me, seeker of truth. You know, the truth is what will set us free. And all within that, in the very center, is the essence of me, Rohisha. And she is going to be fed by all of those things when they meet. East meets west and west meets north, and all the points come to the star that she is inside. And that essence of me will be aligned and divine when I can live completely in that circle of acceptance. And I am what I am. Like, this is how it came out. And this is what I lived through to become it. And my story, like your story, is just a story. It's just a story to help us learn who we are so that we can live and forgive and become new again. It's a new world. And Rosie Thunderbird is going to be helping us rock into that new world. Because the time is now. Everything we need. That's what I hear. Everything you need comes to you. So trust it. Embrace it. Laugh about it. Tell stories about it. Just let it come to you. Let it come to you. Listen.
Cause we're living for a reason. Growing with the seasons. Living for a reason. Brings us home. You gotta come on home.
I feel the most beautiful when I'm like, telling the truth. Like looking somebody in the eye and like feeling their heart, like knowing we're in that vibration. Or when I'm looking at birds or listening to the geese, like my heart's like, oh, like that feels beautiful to me. Whether or not my nails are done or if my hair's got a haircut, I haven't had a haircut in a year. It's like, that's not beauty to me. Beauty is your heart. Beauty is when you're real, like straight up. That's beauty.